Hello and welcome to polyplane.com. Today we're going to take a little break from modeling, and I want to discuss sort of I guess it falls into the principal category, so that's where you'll find it in the archives. The idea is modeling as play. If you're on this site, you're probably here because you want to learn how to model, and you're probably a beginner, and you probably have some fascination of how things are done, and there's an inherent curiosity that you have about the subject. And this is awesome because you don't know what's not possible, so you're willing to try anything. And this is a great place to be in your brain when you're first learning a subject. Once you have your blinders on and you know what's limited by the tools you have, it kind of corners you into doing things a certain way. And that's pretty true for almost any skill set. At the end of a lot of my videos, I always say, play around with it, and I mean that. You should really not take this too seriously, even though you're learning skills that you might be using for your job, or because you're hoping you're in college and you're wanting to bring this into your resume, that you know how to do Rhino or any other software for that matter. To quote Alan Watts, when you try to command a spontaneous process, you stop it. And so what I've got on my screen here are 9 examples of just random models that I've done over the years that were just quick little explorations of what's possible in the software, and just kind of having a good time because it makes it enjoyable. It makes it, something that's still explorable. It's not a chore. Starting from the top left here, I have this like baby doing kung fu, and then there's like a hinge design that I had in my head that I just wanted to sketch up really quick, and then I had this like weird bit of cabling hardware, I guess, I don't know, and then I did some bubbles down here, and then I think these are cow udders. I wanted to just see what cow udders look like, and so I just pulled a bunch of points and made this form really quick. And then I had the idea of strapping, like making these really big and then strapping them to the underside of milk delivery trucks, and that's how they would deliver the milk, was through the udders. And then I wanted to see if I could make something that looked like Mylar balloons with the like striations around the edges, and a furry chair, and then this weird organic thing, and then this bike with Jake from Adventure Time strapped to it. This was something I did with Drew from millionsofhundreddollar-ideas.com. I think it's mohdi.com. And it's like these really fun little exercises that just kind of loosen you up a little bit, and you don't feel so strict. And the cool thing about it is, as soon as I get done with some of these models, I just delete them. I don't need them anymore. So for the thumbnail of this video, I've made this sort of kid's slide here, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. It's it's temporary. It's a thing to just sort of exercise my brain as far as what's possible. And then, there's no consequence because I'm not delivering it to anybody but myself. It makes it a little more enjoyable to do 3D modeling when you open up your screen and you're, every day you're looking at the same interface. That can get really exhausting. So by playing around and refining what you enjoy about modeling, that's really an important thing to take some time and do. I mean, even if it's on the weekend for just a half an hour, just like make some weird blobby form. It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't even have to be a great model. It's just a matter of, enjoying the curves and enjoying the surfaces and enjoying what got you into wanting to 3D model in the first place. And you might be going through some growing pains while you're 3D modeling, but you can always, take a breather from it and just kind of mess around and noodle around with the different tools and make stuff that, has no consequence, and in fact play around with it. So I've got a few video links at the bottom of this post that I recommend you check out. They're just video segments from Alan Watts talking about work as play. It's a great half-hour thing. It's not religiously swaying in any way, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just he has a really good view on having a good time with life and enjoying it. And when you're 3D modeling, you should be enjoying what you're doing. Otherwise, what's the point? So anyway, long story short, I hope that you take some time to truly just play around in the workspace. And if you get discouraged, there's so many people online that are, in the same boat as you, and you can always feel free to write or leave comments below, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.